Before the horrors of World War II, the land now called Israel was known as Palestine. It held a deep religious significance, considered a holy land by Jews, Christians, and Muslims alike. Jewish communities existed in Palestine for centuries, though often facing persecution and displacement. The culmination of centuries of anti-Semitism in Europe, culminating in the Holocaust, made the need for a Jewish homeland undeniable. The Zionist movement, advocating for a Jewish state in their ancestral homeland, gained momentum during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Jewish immigration to Palestine increased, leading to growing tensions with the Arab population. The British, who controlled Palestine after World War I, faced increasing pressure to find a solution to the conflicting claims to the land. Tragically, the Holocaust, with its systematic extermination of 6 million Jews, made the need for a safe and independent Jewish state even more urgent. The aftermath of World War II saw the world grappling with the horrors inflicted upon the Jewish people. The United Nations in 1947 voted to partition Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab. This decision was met with mixed reactions. While the Jewish leadership accepted the plan, the Arab world rejected it, setting the stage for future conflicts. In 1948, as the British mandate over Palestine ended, David Ben-Gurion declared the establishment of the State of Israel. This declaration was met with immediate war. Neighboring Arab states, unwilling to accept Israel's existence, invaded. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, Israel fought back and emerged victorious, expanding its territory beyond the original UN partition plan. Israel's victory in 1948 came at a cost. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled or were expelled from their homes, creating a Palestinian refugee crisis that continues to this day. The Arab world refused to recognize Israel, and a state of hostility persisted, punctuated by periods of war and uneasy peace. Terrorism, sadly, became a tragic reality for Israel from its inception. From the 1960s onwards, Palestinian militant groups, including the Palestine Liberation Organization, launched attacks against Israeli civilians and military targets. The aim was to liberate Palestine and dismantle the State of Israel. Israel responded with military force, targeting terrorist infrastructure and deterring attacks. This cycle of violence and retaliation tragically became a defining characteristic of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Section 4. The Gulf War's ripple effect. The Gulf War in 1991 had a significant impact on Israel, although it was not directly involved in the conflict. Iraq, under Saddam Hussein, launched Scud missile attacks against Israel, aiming to draw it into the war and fracture the US-led coalition. Israel, under intense pressure from the United States, showed restraint and did not retaliate. The Gulf War had long-term consequences for Israel. It highlighted Israel's vulnerability to missile attacks and reinforced the need for a strong military and robust missile defense systems. The war also exposed the deep divisions within the Arab world, with some Arab states siding with the US-led coalition against Iraq. This paved the way for future diplomatic breakthroughs, including the Oslo Accords between Israel and the PLO in 1993. Section 5. A tangled web of conflict. The 21st century has seen the emergence of new threats and the resurgence of old ones. Hamas, a Palestinian Islamic fundamentalist organization, seized control of the Gaza Strip in 2007, further complicating the peace process. Hezbollah, an Iranian-backed Shiite militant group based in Lebanon, continues to pose a significant threat to Israel's northern border. The rise of Iran as a regional power and its nuclear ambitions have raised alarm bells in Israel and beyond. Iran's support for militant groups like Hamas and Hezbollah, along with its rhetoric calling for Israel's destruction, has made it a primary adversary. The ongoing conflict in Yemen, where Iran backs the Houthi rebels, adds another layer of complexity to the regional dynamics. Section 6. The world takes sides. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict and Israel's broader struggle against terrorism has polarized global opinion. The United States has been a steadfast ally of Israel since its inception, providing military, economic, and diplomatic support. Many Western countries also stand with Israel, recognizing its right to exist and defend itself against terrorism. However, Israel has faced criticism for its policies towards the Palestinians, particularly its settlement building in the West Bank. The Boycott, Divestment and Sanctions, or BDS movement, which aims to pressure Israel economically and politically, has gained traction in some quarters. The conflict has also fueled anti-Semitism and anti-Israel sentiment in various parts of the world. Section 7. India's Balancing Act. India, a rising global power with its own complex regional dynamics, has long sought to maintain a balanced position on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Historically, India supported the Palestinian cause for self-determination, but has also cultivated growing ties with Israel, particularly in areas of defense, technology, and agriculture. The rise of Islamic extremism and terrorism, particularly emanating from Pakistan, has led to closer security cooperation between India and Israel. However, India remains sensitive to the concerns of its large Muslim population and the Arab world, and continues to advocate for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The evolving regional and global landscape will likely require India to navigate this complex issue with even greater nuance and dexterity in the years to come.